Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today, it's getting nuts in here. We're talking about some of the best and the worst nuts for healing eczema. So there are so many different types of nuts, but I'm going to talk about the main ones that are going to benefit your skin or harm your skin. And I'm also going to talk about how some people categorize nuts. So going in from there are actually some nuts that are considered legumes. And cashews are one of those weird ones that is barely even considered a nut. It kind of borders on fruit and legume. So one of the best nuts that you can eat to heal your skin is walnuts. Well, why is that? Walnuts are actually a really good source of omega-3. And so I know you guys sometimes hear about how walnuts are good for the brain health. Well, that's because omega-3 gets converted in our body into a substance called DHA. DHA basically makes up most of our brain. Our brain's actually extremely fatty. So, walnuts are awesome. Another really good nut is called a macadamia nut. So I want to keep in mind that all of these nuts are really only for stage 3. The only nut that you can have in stage 1 is cashews, and also try to have it in a limited amount because it is actually not really a nut, but it's just a great source of calories for stage 1. So going back to macadamia nuts. They are a really cool nut. So again, you want to make sure that you're not having too many, but a handful a day is a great source of healthy fat. Macadamia nuts are very unusual. There's actually an omega called omega-7, and macadamia nuts have that. But you also want to make sure with some of these nuts, they can be high in omega-6. And I've probably talked about this in the past, but omega-6, without the presence of omega-3 in our body, actually creates an inflammatory substance. So you want to make sure that you are having your flax oil, your fish oil, if you're going to eat nuts that are high in omega-6, like almonds. While they are good for you, you want to make sure that you're limiting your amount of those. There's such a wide variety of different types of nuts. There's Brazil nuts, there's cashews, there's all sorts of different things, and as long as you're eating them in moderation in stage 3, you're absolutely fine, and they'll contribute to overall health. However, there is one sneaky nut that's not really a nut. It's actually a legume, and it's called a peanut. While peanuts are extremely tasty and make a really nice butter, peanut butter, they are a little bit inflammatory, and I really urge you guys to try to avoid it. If you want to have it in moderation, that's fine, but peanuts are actually not the best for us. So try to avoid those as much as possible. When you're in stage 1, you really want to avoid almonds, you really want to avoid pistachios, you want to avoid pretty much every nut except for cashews and occasionally walnuts. Like walnuts are pretty good for stage 2, sometimes stage 1, and great going forward. And so you can actually make your own nut butter. So if you really like making like a spread, you can use hazelnuts and make your own homemade Nutella. So you basically blend together a bunch of hazelnuts, add some maple syrup, some cocoa powder or carob powder, and you have yourself a homemade Nutella, which is just a chocolate frosting spread basically. So hazelnuts are great. They are such beneficial things to include into your diet. Healthy fats, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You just want to make sure the majority of your diet is vegetables. Then you want to make it a moderation of fruits, nuts, seeds, meats, but just make sure that the majority of what you're eating is good vegetables like sweet potatoes, lettuce, spinach, kale, all sorts of things that are going to give you all of the vital nutrients that you need. But also make sure you're getting your fatty fish, or if you are vegan, make sure you're getting an omega-3 supplement. So what you can actually do is you can go online and look up the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in nuts, and you can kind of follow the list. So the ones that you want to eat more often are the ones with a higher ratio, close to 1:1, so or higher. So for example, walnuts are going to have a higher ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 than, let's say, almonds. So just make sure to check up on that and figure out which ones are the best for you to eat. So for example, I just looked it up myself, and the ratio for almonds is almost 2,000 to 1, meaning for every 2,000 milligrams of omega-6, there's only 1 milligram of omega-3, and that's very bad if you're not getting enough omega-3 supplemented elsewhere into your diet to balance it out. Hazelnuts are on the higher side, pecans are okay, walnuts are okay, so go check out that chart for yourself and start to learn about omega fats. This is a super quick video. I just wanted to talk about this. Try to avoid peanuts. If you're in stage 1, eat some cashews. If you're in stage 3, make sure that you're eating walnuts. And I hope you guys liked this video. And if you have any questions about other types of nuts, either look up the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio or comment down below and I'll try to help you out. I'll see you in my next video, guys.
Crashing waves, I wanna see them at first light.